I want to know how a new brand compares to a couple brands that are well known. The new brand is the MaxFun 10 Pro, and I'm going to compare it with the Apollo Phantom and the Segway GT2 Super Scooter. So MaxFun is $2,000, Apollo's $2,100, and Segway is $3,000. And I'm just going to compare it straight on performance. All three brands say that you can get around 43 miles per hour, so let's see which is the fastest. There really wasn't that much separation. The Segway is just a hair faster than MaxFun, followed by the Apollo, but pretty much they're all topping out about 42 miles per hour. Moving on to acceleration, that's really going to depend on how heavy the scooters are. The MaxFun's coming in at 90 pounds, the Apollo is 77, and the Segway at 116 pounds. I would have thought the Segway would have been the slowest, but it wasn't. It was actually the fastest, but not by much. MaxFun was right behind it. And then with the Apollo, it was lagging in this test, by far the slowest of the three. Moving on to hills, MaxFun says it can climb up to a 30% grade, Apollo 25%, and Segway 30%. I went out to the hill that I always do my hill test on. This is a half block long, and it's a 26% grade. All three brands made it up. But when you overlap the video and have a side profile, again, you'll see the Segway just barely is faster than MaxFun. Now I want to talk about range. In the MaxFun, you have an LG 72 volt 24 amp hour battery with a range rating of 60 miles. The Apollo has a 52 volt 23.4 amp hour battery and a range rating of 50 miles. And then the Segway, you have the same size as Apollo at 52 volts and 30 amp hours. So it does have the largest battery. When I did a range test, my average speed for all three brands was around 35 miles per hour. I got the most elevation gain with the MaxFun at over 1,700 feet. Apollo was around 1,500 feet and Segway was around 800 feet. As far as how far I went, I got 22.28 with the MaxFun, 23.65 with Apollo, and 21.28 with Segway. I did take the Segway and Apollo until the battery died. With the MaxFun, I had 12% battery left. My pick as far as range, which one can get you the longest distance, I would have to go with MaxFun. You just had better overall stats. The last thing I want to talk about are brakes. MaxFun, you have dual hydraulic and ABS braking. The Apollo is the only one that doesn't have hydraulic brakes. Those are disc brakes, but it does have regen as well, and it has its own regen lever. And then with the Segway, you only have dual hydraulic. There's no regen. Here's the stopping distance between all three when going 25 miles per hour. And as you can see, the extra weight of the Segway did take it a little bit longer to stop. Since I haven't done a review on the MaxFun, I wanted to go through some more features, some things that I liked and didn't like about it. And I want to start off with the NFC card. I just like when scooters do this, and this one has it. So here's the NFC receiver. You don't have to use this every time to turn on the scooter, unless you hit it again and you turn it off. The only thing I didn't like on the cockpits is the throttle. This arm sticks out a little bit too much. If they shorten that by about 1/4 to 1/2 inch, that would just feel more natural. You do have nice feeling grips, nice brake levers. I like the control pad. You got a color LCD screen, very bright in full sunlight. You got turn signals, and they light up on the sides, but nothing in the front. And one thing I wish they would have done is put some sort of indicator on the screen to show that the turn signal is on. And there's no beeping to indicate that it's on either. You got a loud horn. Light switch on, off, and when they're on, it's lit up pretty well. You got lights on the side and the front, and then in the rear. And then if you hit the brake levers, that middle light lights up. I like the height of the stem. I'm 5'11", standing straight up, I can easily reach the grips. The spread on the handlebars is also nice and comfortable. It matches the power of the scooter. When you do turn sharp, I mean, you're not gonna turn that sharp when you're riding, but when you're just moving it around, that wire does rub on the frame. It's got a dial locking mechanism. It holds the stem nice and secure right after ride. The tires are pretty awesome. You got road tires, and it makes for a super quiet ride. This is dual suspension. Got no complaints with the ride and feel. It's just a super solid and quiet ride. Overall, guys, I'm pretty impressed with the MaxFun. I wanted to do this comparison because a lot of people shy away from new companies, and that deters people from going that route. But if you just look at performance between the three for the price, I would have to go with the MaxFun. I thought it held up pretty well compared to the other two brands. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If there's any part of the test that you didn't understand, or if you have questions, hit me up in the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys hopping on here and checking out my content, and take care.